Alright, we're going to start this segment on the Little Boulder Campground. It's in the Clearwater National Forest, east of Moscow, Idaho, about 35 miles. That didn't help having that logging truck roll by me, but it did. Anyway, we're going to go in and look at the campground and check it out. I was here the last time in 1975-76 time frame, so it's been many years since I've been here. And the improvements made here are almost unrecognizable to me coming back all these years later. So let's take a walk here and go inside. And you have a gate here, and it's separated by two things. One is a picnic area to the left, and the camping area is to the right. That's where we're kind of locked into the campground right now. I got to negotiate this cattle guard somehow to get into the thing here. Just bear with me for a moment. And I'm going to pan around a little bit and show where the picnic area is to the left here. It's kind of dark. It's cloudy today sometimes. But I think you can get an idea of what it is. Now this campground is about, like I said, 35 miles east of Moscow, Idaho. And highway is excellent getting here. It's paved all the way. And it used to be dirt and gravel when this segment of to get to the campground, the last segment anyway. And now it's all paved. And if you look around, you can see in the back where the camping area starts back there. And we're going to follow the road right through that area, and it does have a camp host here. I don't know the number of campsites it has exactly. It's more than 16, I can tell. Just there's two loops of campsites, and it loops around and comes back out the same way that we're going to be going in. So let's just follow the road. I'm not going to shut it off, or we're going to have two segments here, and it's kind of hard to link them together. So just kind of enjoy the scenery as we walk along here. I didn't see that before. I just came roaring through here. Yeah, he's probably wondering what I'm doing. Tell them I'm with the Federal Marshal's Office. We've got information that somebody's in here that's not supposed to be. I better be quiet. This guy. Okay, anyway, there's the camp host walking around over there, and you can see where they got their rig. And that's the only water, by the way, in this campground. That's one of the drawbacks. You have to go wherever you're camped. There's no water in the site. So you actually have to drive around to where the camp host is to get the water, and it's a very old pump, let me put it that way. To pump 7 gallons took me about 7 minutes. But it does work. Now we're going to be looking at the Potlatch River, which flows adjacent to the campground in a couple minutes. And I used to have 40 acres about 2.5 miles away from here, and that's how I found this place. It's not well advertised. And even Helmer, Idaho, where you turn off to drive up here, you don't even know it's there until one city or one town before you get there. So you need to write it down that you're going to Helmer, Idaho. That's where you make your turn off the highway east of Moscow, Highway 8. It's State Highway 8. And I recommend this place. It's kind of nice here. It's well, not, like I said, I was here a long time ago, and it didn't look this nice. It's pretty well groomed. And here's a typical thing of a lot of Forest Service campgrounds. What you bring in, you pack it out. You don't leave any garbage left behind, which isn't hard to do. You know, if you got it here, I guess you can pack it out. And I think this is the only road bar in the whole campground that I've seen so far. So you do have to slow down for this segment as you go in here. Okay, now we're coming to the rules, regulations, and other information on the campground. This is a fee campground. It's $8 a night for tents. I don't know what the RV rate is. We're camping in tents this trip. And here's another thing. If you do have a senior pass in the U.S. Forest Service, you can cut that by 50% and pay $4 a night. It's I'll try to get a good shot at this here. You can see the two loops that are involved. There's a loop A and a loop B where campers can camp. And there's an extra vehicle charge of $2 if you got more than one vehicle that you bring in here. Otherwise, the $8 or the $4 is all you're going to pay for one vehicle and a tent. And there's a lot of good information here before you go in. Do you think it's easy to get to the river from here, or should we do it down here? Okay. I'm talking to my daughter. She's been up since this morning looking at the river. There's actually two waterways through here. There's Little Boulder Creek that enters Potlatch River in this area right here, and Potlatch River flows adjacent to the campground. There are no showers obviously here, so you kind of, you don't want to probably stay a long time. But you know, we're staying about 2 days this time here, and then we're going to move on to another campground that does have showers and everything. But this is, the price is right, and it's beautiful scenery in through here. Plenty of abundant wood too. You can find wood laying around even outside of the campground, so you don't really have to buy wood to burn for a campfire here. Here's the one of the restrooms is right here, and men or women use that one. And there's a lot of RVs in here. The weather has been chilly, very cold. Not real cold. I don't want to give you the wrong idea, but it probably was in the low 30s last night. I'm just guessing from the way I felt. And here's someone walking their dog. I'm trying to put this on YouTube tomorrow. Yeah. There's my daughter petting the dog. And yeah, these people have both a trailer and a tent. So these lots are, I mean, the campsites are anywhere from very small to moderate in size. If you're tent camping, that is our tent over there. And you can see the river, but they've for some reason built a fence right here that wasn't here the last time I was here. And we're going to get down to the river. There's a couple of entrances where you can actually get through the fence. Here's another thing I failed to mention earlier. You want to bring your groceries. Probably get it in Moscow before you come up here. The towns are very small and far apart. So by the time you get here, you're going to have to drive about a round trip, probably about 7, 8, 10 miles maybe, to just get a loaf of bread. So you better bring everything here. Here's one of the, I don't know what you call this. I really don't. It's kind of a switchback built in where you can actually get down to the river area through the fence. I guess it's to keep animals out or something. I don't know. Anyway, we're going to get a glimpse of that in a minute. Okay, here's how we walk down to get to the river. There is trout in this river. I won't tell you what my daughter found here earlier today in the river when she was down here. But anyway, it is good fishing, I guess. I've never really done it for, I don't know if I've ever fished this river, but anyway, I wanted to give you a good look at it because this is right adjacent to where our tent is. We're right across from this. And this is what you've got here. The mosquitoes are negligible. I haven't really seen any. And this is late May. And usually mosquitoes would be out if we had a late snow melt. But I haven't seen any, and we haven't been bothered with any, so let's just continue on. I'll try to get through the campground area here. Okay. Again, that's our campsite there, and I'll get a better look at it if I can get a sunny area here. Boy. I wanted to give you just a good look at the campground because it's worth coming up here if you like tent camping or trailer camping. And if you have a trailer, you got more self-contained stuff, so it's a little easier. But my daughter's got her tent, and we've got the larger one behind my car there. And my son is coming up from Moscow. He resides actually in Pullman, Washington, and he's going to be driving up today. There's a $2 per vehicle charge after the first vehicle. Your first vehicle is free. You bring your stuff up. Yeah, you're in it already. Yeah, oh no. Anyway, here's my wife. She wanted to meet you all. Anyway, so here's where we have the loops. Here's the two loops that we're looking for. There's loop A to the left, and there are right now trailers up there. There's a lot of trailers and tent campers that came in here last night, which was a Thursday night. And usually that doesn't happen. Usually it's on a Friday night for the weekend. But loop A starts here, and it also shows you where the water is. That's where the camp host is too. And then if you go to the right, it also takes you to that picnic area that you saw. There's a trail going back there. To where when we came into the campground in the first place, there's a picnic area to the left. You can get there on foot through here. And this is also B-loop camping. So there are campers, some of which came in last night. And I'm not going to walk you through all of this. I just wanted to give you a good idea how big the campground is. And it's, again, there's some restrictions here, like water. You got to get it in one spot. And I think there was somebody here last night. They must have left in that campsite. I'm just going to walk around. I wanted to show you where we came from when we came in here. And that'll give you an idea, orientation-wise, where we're at. Now remember, it's called Boulder Campground. Little Boulder Campground. I'm sorry, put the Little Boulder Campground. And it's quiet here. Obviously, it would be. Okay, see, you can see the trailers parked, and it's. I wouldn't say all the camp sites are taken right now. There's a few left, but I would say that all in all, it's probably over 16 that I believe that there has here, without counting each and every one of them. But see, you can see across the meadow here. I'm kind of into the sun a little bit, but that's where the picnic area begins back there. And that's when we drove in through the gate there. To the left was that picnic area, and we're now on Loop A in the campground. And this is where the loop comes out, and it'll take you to where the camp host is. Got their rig, and that's where you get your water. So I hope I've covered everything. So again, I encourage it. I think it's a good campground to visit, and it's not that far. I mean, you know, it's about a 40-minute trip from Moscow, Idaho, 35 miles or so. And you run into a lot of small towns that a lot of people that just drive north don't see. Like Troy, Idaho, it's about 12 miles east of Moscow. And then you have Deary, which you pass through getting to this campground, which is a nice little town, really. It's really kind of quaint and beautiful. And then you get to Helmer, which is very small, and I won't put any description on that, but that's where you turn. You turn right, and you follow the signs to the campground. And so I look forward to hearing any comments you might have if you visit this campground. And if I did justice to it in this video, I'd like to know that too. So here we are. I'm going back to the campground. Right now we're trying to get the fire going, anticipating my son's arrival here in a little while, which I hope doesn't take too long. We're getting kind of hungry waiting for him. But anyway, like I said, I feel at home here. I do a lot of camping in the summer. And this is one of those campgrounds that I haven't seen in years, 3 or 4 decades now. And so it's worth visiting again, and I encourage you to make the trip. I really do. So I'm going to let you all go, and thanks for spending the time with me today. Bye.